This video is dedicated to those persons who will not use Winbox or they cannot use Winbox due to circumstances such as a Linux operating system. Now you can work around and use Winbox on Linux, but you got to install Wine, you got to do virtual operating systems and all that crap just to get it to work, and then who knows how long it'll work with the next change. So we prefer a different method. We prefer going into using Webfig, but it has its own limitations. So let's take a look at those limitations. One problem with out-of-the-box Webfig is that it's not secure. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up one of my bookmarks for non-secure connection with Webfig. You notice, sure enough, Webfig is there. So, but it's not secure. So if you're okay with having a non-secure connection between your computer and something else on your LAN, then that's your choice. I prefer not to be like that. I prefer to have a secure connection when I'm changing the configuration of my router. So in order to do that, we have to make this Webfig a secure connection. And we'll address that a little bit later in this video. The other problem with Webfig is over here, this terminal. If we start up the terminal, notice we have our command prompt down here. If I want to use a cut and paste, like one of these long lines, it's too obvious that you can make a mistake trying to type it. So I'm just going to copy this cert command, which basically changes to the certificate directory. Come down here and I try to paste it, I can't do it. There's no paste option. If I try to do a control-C, I can't do it. I can't copy it. That's a severe handicap of the WinFig terminal program. So we're going to provide a workaround to that problem. One workaround people have already presented is if you go over here and so you got to log in each time too, you shift. Well, not every time, but most times. When you try to switch, it gives you a problem. The other problem is to go over here, and some people have said, oh, we have a solution. You go to System. We can simply create a script. Let's take script 2 for a moment. Right now it's empty. And I'm going to go get a source to put in it. I'm going to put the cert command into that script. Copy. Right click, paste. Notice that time I didn't do it. Sometimes it puts something else in there. Let's try it again. See if I can make it recreate what it typically does. Copy. I'm going to right click and paste. And we'll do it now. So typical. A lot of times it puts some kind of a symbol here, some symbol of some kind. And it puts a bunch of spaces in it, starts with the text right here. And that'll mess you up. So if you do copy and paste into the script, always make sure there's no symbol and some spaces after the symbol, because it will not take that as a command. So let's get back to our copy and paste. We remove any symbols that we have here. And we have to apply that. Once we apply it, then we should be able to run it. It's been ran 0 times, so we'll run it 1 time. We'll go and look, see what it did. So we go back to our scripts, script 2. It says cert, add name. Well, that's incomplete, that's why I didn't add all of it. So let's get rid of that. Go back over here and get the rest of it. So we're going to add all this information in this line. Copy. It's back on top. Paste. So now we change the certificate directory, then we add this certificate. So this should work now. So we apply this, and now we can run the script. First time we ran the script. We go over here and we look for certificates under System. You see it created it right there, LocalCA. That's a script we just created. I'm going to remove it for right now. Point is, you can in fact use these scripts. Hard to get there with this thing. You can in fact use scripts input your commands, but that's really a convoluted way to do it, and I certainly would not recommend that. There's a much better way to do it, and that is to use a terminal program such as PuTTY. So we go ahead and we log in with our PuTTY 192.168.88.1. Now we have a terminal to replace that crappy terminal as part of Webfig. So I log in that name, username, password. And now we have a terminal, so we'll go ahead and we'll come down here and we'll take these commands. Remember, I deleted that certificate earlier. So we'll go ahead and highlight these, copy. And we can, in fact, paste that in there and hit enter. And it did it. Now we can do the next one. We're still in certificate directory. We can assign this. Certificate. So we copy that. Now it shows progress here. It's busy signing that certificate. And when it's finished, you get a prompt again. So now it's finished. So you notice we can use PuTTY real easily to replace this terminal up here that won't let you do cut and paste. So PuTTY becomes my new terminal for using Webfig. And this is much easier in another way, and the fact is that you go to terminal, it blocks out your whole screen, turns the whole screen into the terminal. So you can't do anything else with that screen. You can't see anything else on that screen. You're just locked into terminal only. Whereas if we go to Webfig and bring up our terminal, we can slide it around, move it wherever we want it, uncover whatever we want to see over here on the left, and it's so much easier to use. So this is a recommended combination. Use a secure Webfig, which we don't have right now, and use PuTTY for the replacement terminal. Don't ever use this terminal up here. So now let's go on to the next step to make this Webfig a secure connection. You can go out on the internet and you can find this PuTTY program and download it and install it. It's real simple, it's very small. And to log in as your new terminal to replace the Webfig terminal, simply type in the address of the router, 192.168.88.1. Go down here and click open. Then you notice it wants the login name. Then it wants password. And now we're logged in. So now we can do things with this terminal. We can cut and paste to this terminal, whereas you can't if you use this terminal up here. It doesn't allow pasting to happen. So this will be a substitute for that terminal. And we can use the rest of the Webfig as normal. Just we can go to various components here and do things. If we need a terminal, we simply bring up this terminal. We can right click. Notice I pasted in there already. Change directories. Sure enough, it works. So this solves the terminal problem with using Webfig. The other problem with using Webfig is the security of your computer to Microtech connection. If you're fine having a non-secure connection and plain text on your local LAN, then you don't need to go any further. This video is finished for you. But if you need to go further, you don't want to have an unsecure connection between the router and your computer on your local LAN, then the next step is to make the router secure. Okay, this Webfig is already secure. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I come over here, use my other bookmark, which is a secure connection right here, it does in fact connect securely. And the first time you do this, you get a warning and you say, I accept the risk. And now you have this little symbol up here, meaning it's secure, but we don't know who the author is. That's because we created our own certificate. So to get to this point, let's look at what's required under System, Certificates. These two certificates are required. All these other certificates are involved in the DOH DNS server being secure. So you can ignore those, leave them alone. but we need to add these two. So I'm just going to remove them for right now. And notice one takes out the other, they're both gone. So now, if I go back and I try to connect securely, notice it can't connect. It just can't connect to it. I can still connect with the non-secure version right here. And if we go down here and look at something else, we want to look at IP and services. This guy here, he's enabled right now, and that's the secure www-ssl port 443. That's what we use to access Webfig into the MikroTik router. So we're going to go ahead and disable that right now. Uncheck that and apply it. Say OK. So now it's disabled. So now we're starting from scratch where you would be if you never had the ability to connect to HTTPS. So now that that's set up, let's go ahead and demonstrate how you configure this thing using just these resources. In order to make this Webfig connection secure, we have to do a couple of things. First, we have to create the certificates that we need. Then we have to sign the certificates. Then we have to enable the www.ssl certificate. And more importantly, we also have to enable SSH under the services so that we can connect with our PuTTY terminal to enter in all these changes. So let's start by going to our Webfig, come down here to IP services. You notice we do in fact have SSH enabled, which is a requirement to run PuTTY. And we also have Winbox and www enabled. We don't have this enabled, so we'll do this later. So I just wanted to show you this is where we're starting from. Next, we have to go ahead and connect with our PuTTY terminal. I've already set this up, so I'm just going to load it, open it up. It knows my admin. I already just got to type in the password, which is so setting up PuTTY is really simple. You just do it the first time, and you can also find some YouTube videos on the subject. We now have PuTTY running for our terminal. So the first thing we have to do is we have to install these things. So we're going to first install a local certificate authority certificate, copy, paste that in, hit enter. And so it's done that line. Then we want to sign that thing. Copy, paste. We watch it go through the process of signing it. Then we've got to add the Webfig certificate. Copy that. Enter that, and we have to sign the Webfig certificate. Notice that the authority for the Webfig certificate is the first certificate, the local certificate authority we installed. So we go to copy, we paste that. Now it's in the progress of signing that Webfig certificate. Then next we've got to switch to IP service and enable www-ssl. So disabled equals no, it means enabled. I don't know, I didn't create this. So right click copy, right click, hit enter. And so now we should be able to log in securely. So let's bring up another window. Well, that's not how you do it. I'm going to try to log in securely this time with this browser. Bookmarks, HTTPS. And we get the warning message, go to advanced, scroll down, accept the risk. And now I've done it before, so it knows my password and everything. The browser saved the admin and the password. So I simply log in, and now we have a secure connection with our Webfig. So now with the secure connection of Webfig and the secure SSH terminal, we can operate on our MikroTik router securely from our computer, and nothing else on the LAN can intercept what we're doing. So the mission is accomplished.